Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over my predictions for every single game in this upcoming NFL season. And we're going to start at week 1 and we're going to go all the way to Super Bowl. I'm going to show you all my Super Bowl picks, which may or may not be correct, but we'll see. So, in week 1 I have Jags beating the Colts, no surprises there. Trevor Lawrence is going to be Anthony Richardson, right? Bengals beating Browns, another no surprise. Joe Burrow's really good. Ravens, Texans, Ravens are going to win, obviously. Raiders being the Broncos, this could be closer, but I think the Raiders might have the slight edge. But I have them splitting the series, so that's fair. Chargers, Dolphins. I think Chargers will start off on the right spot. If they don't, they expect their coach to be fired. If they don't make the playoffs this year, but I think they will. And then Bills, Jets. Bills are gonna win because Aaron Rodgers his first week. He's not gonna beat them right away, I don't think. But that take age very poorly. Chiefs are going to beat the Lions, just Mahomes. Niners being the Steelers. There is some stuff about how Trey Lance could start, but I think Niners should be able to beat them. Their defense is really good. Saints being Titans, just more experienced compared to Will Levis, and I don't even know if he's going to start right away. So Saints are going to be beating the Titans, and then Eagles beat the Patriots. No real surprise there. Commanders beating the Cardinals. Again, no real surprise. Cardinals, they'll be without Kyle Murray. So, Falcons beating Panthers. I think the Falcons are a better offense. And the Panthers, I don't think they're going to win right away with Bryce Young. But they'll, as you can see here, they'll start doing good. Vikings will beat the Bucks. No surprise, Bucks don't have a quarterback. Packers will beat the Bears. Another no surprise. Seahawks will beat the Rams. No surprise. And Cowboys beating Giants. Cowboys just have the Giants number. That's the reason why mainly. Chiefs beating Jags. No surprise there. Bengals beating Ravens. I think it'll be close, but I think the Bengals will probably win because they're a really good team. Bills beating Raiders. No surprise. I have the Titans upsetting the Chargers. And I just think it's one of those games the Chargers are just going to lose for no reason. And Titans will somehow win. And, yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry is just going to run straight over their defense. Because they don't have too good of a D-line right now. So that's probably why I think they'll beat them. Colts over Texans. Dolphins over Patriots. No surprises there. And then Steelers over Browns. I just think the Steelers are going to be better this year. They'll do pretty good. Jets over Cowboys. Aaron Rodgers has the Cowboys number, and I wouldn't be surprised if he beats them. Now Cowboys could win this, but I think it's home game for the Cowboys. But I think the Jets are going to beat them. But Cowboys could win this, and I'll be very happy either way. So Broncos being Commanders. I think Russell Wilson will turn on. He might win a few games, but I think Sean Payton will make this team a little better. Eagles being Vikings, no surprise there. Bears being Bucks. Falcons over Packers. Lions over Seahawks. 49ers over Rams. Giants over Cardinals. And Panthers over Saints. No real surprise there. Also, if you have made this far in this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, so I can keep on making y'all content. And I'm going to start putting out some more college football content. Apparently there's some news about Colorado going to Big 12, maybe. And Colorado is real big right now. So I think make sure to like, subscribe so you can see whatever content I put out. And I'll make sure to give y'all good content. Beginning of week 3, Browns over tight ends. Deshaun Watson might be bad, but it won't be terrible. Jags over Texans. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Ravens, no surprises there. Dolphins over Broncos. I don't think there's really a surprise there either. Jets over Patriots, no surprises. And the Steelers over Raiders. The very historic matchup, but the Steelers should win that. Bills over Commanders, no surprises. Chargers over Vikings. I don't think that should be a surprise if Chargers win there. Chiefs over Bears, no surprises. And then Bengals over Rams, rematch Super Bowl. Bengals just better. Giants over the 49ers. I mean, It'll be close, but I think the Giants are definitely getting better. And I think the 49ers, I'm missing the playoffs here. The only reason I'm missing the playoffs is I don't know when Brock Purdy will be in. I don't know if he's going to replicate what he did last season. And there's a lot of questions about him. So, I guess we'll see. Lions over Falcons. Lions are going to be a pretty good team next year. Saints over Packers. No surprises. Seahawks over Panthers. Cowboys over Cardinals. And Eagles over Bucks. No surprises there. Going to week 4, I have Dolphins over Bills. I think they'll probably split this upcoming year with Tua back if Tua is not injured, of course. I mean, I think they could upset them on the road, and I think they play a few weeks later. Is it this week? They play. We'll get to it. They'll play a few weeks later, and it won't be a surprise. Ravens win that. Steelers win that game. Bengals win. Chargers, Chiefs. No real surprise there. I mean, Chiefs Jets could be close, but I think Mahomes is he's a very special quarterback, and I think he's now just entering his prime. It's crazy to say that, but he's entering his prime age. So, Jags winning in London. No surprise there. Colts beating the Rams. I mean, I think Anthony Richardson is a real good dude. I think he has potential if he starts soon. He could definitely win that. Broncos over Bears. I think the Bears still won't be too great. I think they'll probably go on a winning streak to the end of the year. They have an easy schedule at the end of the year. And then Cowboys over Patriots. No real surprises there. It could be a loss though for the Cowboys. Wouldn't be surprised. Lions over Packers. Vikings over Panthers. Commanders over Eagles. And you might think, wow, the Commanders aren't going to beat the Eagles. Well, keep in mind the Commanders beat the Eagles last season, and the Eagles are worse this season than what they are last season. And the Commanders beat them a game. So, it's not a surprise. I saw them beating the Cowboys 1 week. So, it's not really a surprise. It could happen. I don't think the Eagles are winning the NFC East this year. But, I mean, anything's possible, I guess. But I doubt it. You have Saints over Bucks. That shouldn't be a surprise there. And then you have Niners over Cardinals, no surprises. And then Seahawks over Giants. Going to week 5, you have Jackson over the Bills against in London. I think Bills are a good team, but Trevor Lawrence could have a breakout year this year. And I'm kind of betting on him to have a breakout year. Now, could it not happen? Yes. But I think it probably will happen. Colts winning against Titans, no surprise there. They're more experienced. Steelers beating Ravens. I think they're going to split probably this year, so it's not a surprise. Jets beating Broncos, no real surprises. Giants winning that game. The Giants aren't terrible like they used to be. I think if Daniel Jones keeps on staying still, I think Brian Dable is a really, really good coach. And I think the Giants could win that. Falcons over Texans, no surprises there. The Falcons are going to be pretty good this year, in my opinion. They won't do anything in the playoffs. But if Desmond Ridder can just be okay, like their offense was crazy last year, crazy good. It was the third best offense in the NFL overall. That's how good it was. Their defense sucks though, so we're kind of betting on the fact that their defense will get better, which I think they did. They got some pieces on defense, so I think it's very possible. Patriots over Saints. Patriots should win that. Bengals over Cardinals. Yep, that's not close. Probably. Cardinals are gonna suck next year. Chiefs over Vikings. Chiefs are just gonna dominate. People are gonna probably think they're gonna go undefeated, but they'll probably lose. They're gonna lose to they'll lose to somebody, because I think going undefeated is very hard in this league. And then Raiders beating Packers. Josh Jacobs is really good. The Packers need to work on the interior D-line. It wasn't really too good last year. Their run defense kind of sucks. So, I think the Raiders will do that. Yes, the Packers, they get Lucas Van Ness. He is very much a one-trick pony. I think people will figure out pretty fast about him, how it works. Bears being Commanders. I think the Bears are going to probably beat a few teams, and Commanders could be one. Definitely Thursday night game. Of course, it's a kind of bad game on Thursday night, but hey, still football, I guess. Panthers being Lions. I think this will be Bryce Young's statement game. Like, oh, I'm this guy. I'm gonna be here to stay. And don't count me out. Come short. I think he's gonna probably have a game like that. Eagles over Rams, no surprises, and Cowboys over Niners. I think the Niners are probably primed for some regression, just in their quarterback scenario. And I'm gonna probably regret saying this, but I think they have here. They probably might not. They might not make the playoffs. Depends how the Seahawks do. And I think the Seahawks are a very good team coming into next year. They have a lot of good pieces. And I think the Niners, all they have to do is just beat the Seahawks. But it's going to be close. It'll be close to a very weak NFC West. Chiefs beating Broncos. No surprises. Ravens over Titans. Colts over Jags. I think this will be a close game, but I think this could also be Anthony Richardson just going off. It won't be his first start. I think he'll start in maybe week 5 or 4. There has been reports coming out from the Colts that Anthony Richardson might start week 1, which I don't really agree with because I don't think he should start that early. But hey, if he does that, he might be good. Might be good. Patriots getting their revenge match because of last year Jacoby Myers. Now he's on the Raiders. So maybe he'll just toss to the Patriots this time instead. But I think Patriots should win that. It'll be their first win, according to my thing. I think Patriots are probably... I know their offense sucked last year, but it is a very strong AFC this year, and it's going to be very hard for them to succeed. If they're in the AFC South, I can maybe see it, but in the AFC East, that is a really, really good division now. But I don't know, the Jets could suck. A lot of people were saying the Broncos were gonna win the AFC West, and they didn't last year. They were trash. So that could happen with Aaron Rodgers. I doubt it, but anything can happen, guys, in the NFL. Don't be surprised. Panthers beating Dolphins. I think Bryce Young is gonna start going off. The Panthers team, it's not really that bad. They're in contention for a playoff spot last year, and a lot of people don't remember that they trade up for the number 1 pick. So it's not like they're just terrible. And their wide receiving core is not terrible. It has Adam Thielen, Jonathan Mingo, and then a bunch of other young pieces that could all break out. So don't count them out. And I think the Dolphins, Tua might get injured again. But I think they're pretty good. But also Tyreek Hill might be retiring. Yeah, I know. Seahawks over Bengals just because they're coming off the bye. That's the main reason why. I think they have a pretty good chance. Same with Browns over Niners. Texans over Saints. I think Stroud will probably win a few games, and I think that could be a game he could win. I mean, this Texans team does suck, but I believe in Stroud. I think he's a winner. Same with Bryce Young. I think they're winners, and I think the most valuable thing in any sport is to be a winner. And if you're a winner, then you're going to succeed. That's why I think Deion Sanders will succeed. That's why you can just tell if certain coaches or players are going to do well, because if they win, they win. It's not... Nobody cares if you put up crazy stats. Like Dan Marino, great quarterback, put up great stats. Probably some of the best stats ever. Might be the best quarterback ever for stats, considering his era. But he never won He never won championship. So you can't really put him in that upper echelon because he never won anything, and he still had great teams. But yeah, stuff can happen. So Jets over Eagles. I think the Jets. I think this might just be me being a Cowboys fan, but I think the Jets are gonna beat the Eagles. Maybe it's just because I hate the Eagles, but I feel like it's a fair pick. And Bills over Giants, no surprises. And then Cowboys losing Chargers. Chargers coming off a bye. Seems like a game Cowboys lose. But they could also win that. Wouldn't be surprised. Falcons over Commanders. The Falcons are interesting this year, right? Great offense, bad defense. Maybe the defense will step up. But they have Bijan. I think Bijan's going to win Rookie of the Year. So watch out for the Falcons. Lions, no surprise there in that win. Vikings winning that game. I think they're not going to be terrible. They'll probably make the playoffs, but they're going to be on that bubble of like mid to good. And now that I think Jordan Love is going to be decent for the Packers. And then the battle of the two teams who suck, Rams Cardinals. Rams are going to win unless Kyler Murray is back, but I don't think he'll be back till at least week 8. I mean, I've seen some reports saying he might be back earlier, but I don't know. Patriots winning that game. Bill Belichick is going to beat the Bills and win the games. He's not going to lose to the Bills both games. I think Mac Jones is going to do decent. People are hating on Mac Jones too much, though, because his offensive coordinator sucked last year, and that's not a good way to win. So I think he'll do okay. He'll be fine. Browns over Colts. Browns just have more experience, and they'll probably run all over the Colts. It's going to be a running game, though. It's just going to be Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb. Okay. Chargers over Chiefs. I think Chargers will beat the Chiefs and win the matchups. Now, you could say the Chiefs win that, and I'm not going to argue with you. That's fair. But I think Chargers can win one of those games. Jaguars over Saints. No surprises there. Ravens win that over Lions. I mean, Ravens just... Lamar Jackson has got his new deal. And I know the Lions, they're getting all this hype. They're really good. They didn't even make the playoffs last year. People remember that. They didn't make the playoffs. And I think, yes, they're going to be better this year. But I'm going to take the Ravens, who are overall a really good team. And they got a wide receiver this year. And they have 2 really good tight ends. Isaiah Likely, if y'all know him, watch some of his film from last year. He's pretty good. Raiders win. Rams winning that over the Steelers. That is going to... I mean, Steelers, yes, you should win that. But the Rams, they're going to beat a few teams that are in that mediocre tier to like good tier. They're gonna beat somebody. The NFL has way too much parity, so I think the Rams should win that. Packers come on by and win that, and the Eagles will beat the Dolphins because the Eagles are still the Eagles. Even though, watch out for Jalen Hurts not living up to his contract. Could happen. One good year, really. I mean, I'm just saying. Bucks winning against the Falcons. The Bucks are gonna win some games. You can't count them out every single game. I mean, they have too much of a heavy passing offense. Now, Rachaad White could break out. Their defense is okay, decent, but they'll probably beat somebody. And I think the Falcons are in consideration for that loss. Commanders being Giants, just another NFC East matchup. No real surprise if they split that this year. Cardinals shocking the Seahawks. I think Kyler Murray will be back by week 7. I've heard, a lot of people are saying he's out for the season, but I've heard a lot of reports he might be back early. That he's like getting through the injury real quick. So, I mean, I hope he does. I don't want anybody to be injured, but I think he should be able to beat the Seahawks at least one game. And then Niners over Vikings. No real surprises there. The Niners are the better team overall. I mean, the Vikings beat him out for a playoff spot because they have that tie, which is a little controversial. But yeah, like let's just say we give let's say the Niners do they play this week. Let's say they win this game. They're making the playoffs. So I don't know who they're beating. They're beating the Giants. But yeah, Niners will be fun. Steelers over Jags. I think Kenny Pickett will have a few good games, and it could be possible. Mike Tomlin is that dude. So Dolphins over Patriots. No surprise there. And Chiefs over Broncos. No surprises. Bills win. Panthers win. Jets win. Saints win. Saints also almost made the playoffs last year, so not terrible. Titans win. Seahawks win. Ravens. Bengals. Yeah, this will be a close game, but Bengals coming off a bye. Chargers then Lions. I don't think any of those games are real surprises. Eagles over Commanders. They're going to win the other one. Packers over Vikings. They're going to beat them at least one game. And then Cowboys are going to beat the Rams coming off the bye. Titans will beat the Steelers. I think Will Levis will probably start here, and maybe he'll do decent. I don't know. But I think he has way too much hate. I don't think you can really hand somebody until they actually start playing. So yeah, they'll be decent. Chiefs being Dolphins, no surprise. Chiefs to the Chiefs. Tyreek Hill, Tyreek Hill matchup though. I think the Chiefs are just way too good. They have a bigger following across the world because they've won a few Super Bowls recently. Bills over Bengals. I think I have the opposite in the playoffs. So it's gonna be like, I mean, they didn't play last year because of the Mar Hamlin injury. The game got canceled. So I think Bills could win one of those. Jets over Chargers. The Jets will probably beat Chargers. No surprise there. Patriots Browns. Those are pretty straightforward games. Ravens being Seahawks. The Ravens just more experience, a little better. Could be a win for the Seahawks though. Texans over Bucks. Stroud will probably beat them. Um, this is gonna be all SEC rematch. I don't know if Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson ever played against each other in the SEC, but I think Bryce Young will come on top. Giants are gonna win that. Falcons are gonna get the upset over the Vikings, but they're gonna both make the playoffs, so nothing surprising there. Bears will probably win a few games. Packers, and then big matchup Cowboys versus Eagles. It's been like, I think they said 23 years since the same person has repeated as their crown in the NFC East, and I don't think the Eagles are going to repeat considering they lost a lot of pieces. Now next year they could win, but not this year. Cowboys are going to win. Unless like you think the Giants or Commanders are going to win, and if you say that, I'm going to say you're crazy. So, going to next week 10. This slate is going to be interesting for this week. Browns are going to probably upset the Ravens. Bengals win. Colts are going to probably win that. Could see Patriots winning that, though. Could switch that very easily. And Jets winning are a surprise. And then Broncos coming to the bye will upset the Bills. Because I think Sean Payton, he has a lot of NFL experience. And he knows how to beat some of these big teams. He won a Super Bowl against Peyton Manning. So, I think he'll do well. Niners over Jags. I think Niners are good enough. The Jags are still developing. Remember that. Trevor Lawrence is still like 23. So, Titans will win that. Packers, surprise. No surprises there. Lions coming off a bye. So, Bears, Vikings are going to win that. Cardinals, Kyler Murray will probably win that. I don't think he'll come back for a few games. He'll win a few games. Cowboys beating Giants, surprise. Commanders beating Seahawks. I think they'll probably win a few games, just upsetting teams. I mean, their defense is pretty good if Chase Young stays here the whole year. So, I think they should win that. Bengals, Dolphins, Steelers, Jags, and Bills. No surprise there. I mean, Bills, Jets could be split, but I think Bills are a little better of a team. Now, I could very much see the Jets win that, but I don't know. If the Jets lose some games, we don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. Because, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is, like, loving everybody right now. He's being all chill with everybody. But we don't know what he's going to do because New York is a way bigger media place, and he can't get away with stuff like he did in Wisconsin involving certain types of drugs to help him get better. Not PEDs, guys. I'm not accusing him of PEDs. I'm saying, like, I don't even remember the name. It's like some long name that starts with an A. Like, I don't remember it, but search it up yourself if you really want to know. Cardinals winning, no surprises there in the middle column. I mean, Chiefs are going to beat the Eagles. Mahomes is just that guy. Lions, Cowboys, Giants, Niners, and Rams. The Rams come up by, and they'll probably split with the Seahawks. So I don't think there's any really big surprise there. Yeah, you could have Seahawks winning, but I feel like it's fair to say that. Dolphins are going to win that. It's going to be split this year. Bengals, Texans with the upset. Broncos, Chiefs, and then Ravens. Nothing crazy there. Patriots coming off the bye will win. Same with Colts, Panthers, and then Bills will beat the Eagles because I just feel like they probably have a higher chance of doing that. Lions winning, Commanders winning. Seahawks winning. Falcons, Cardinals, and then Vikings. No big surprises there. We have a lot of teams on bye this week. So we got Chargers, Titans, Texans, Bengals. I don't think there's any surprise there. I mean, Jags could win that game, but I think the Bengals are better. Dolphins, Steelers, Jets, Browns, and Chiefs. No surprise there either. Seahawks beating the Cowboys. It's another game the Cowboys are just going to lose for no reason. It always happens. We always lose to some random team, but I kind of see Cowboys winning it. It's fair to say. It's kind of throw up. Then you have the Bucks, the Saints, and then the Eagles winning. Surprises. Patriots. So you got the Patriots, the Jags, the Jets, the Bengals, the Bills winning that. They're just coming off a bye, so I think that's fair. Cardinals, and then Titans. Ravens, and then Vikings winning. That's fair to say. Falcons, Bears, since they're coming off the bye, I think they'll have an upset. They'll probably split this year with the Lions. Saints, 49ers, Eagles are going to split with the Cowboys, so no big surprise there. And Giants winning that, coming off the bye. Raiders, yes. I think they'll just beat the Chargers a game. It's going to happen. Don't be surprised if that happens. The Chargers are still very questionable. I don't know how well they're going to do. So we'll see, I guess. Steelers, Dolphins. They're actually going to sweep the Jets here, which is very fair. I think that could happen. Now, Jets, they do have DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner, who are a very good combo. They had like one of the best pass defenses last year. But I think the two is bet there. The Dolphins have a very high floor. Or a very high ceiling also. But they also have a very high floor too is there. This game doesn't really matter, but I think Texans will probably win that. Jags and the Chiefs. Bears, Lions, Vikings over the Bengals. Yeah, it'll probably just be an upset. The Vikings team isn't terrible, but they're not great either. And Bills over Cowboys. Look, I'm picking Cowboy. I'm saying Cowboys are going to lose a bunch of these games against like playoff teams, but I think the Cowboys are going to start winning when it comes to the playoffs this year because the NFC sucks. There's no like real There's no real like team that's like, oh, I'm so scared of playing them. Because like the Niners, I think they're going to fall off. Eagles, they're not going to win the division at least, and I think they'll fall off a little bit. But Cowboys losing the Bills, that's completely fair. You're going to have Panthers, Packers, Giants, Cardinals come up by, Commanders come out by, and then Seahawks beating the Eagles. I feel like that's fair. Seahawks are going to beat the Eagles and the Cowboys. I think they have a pretty good team. They're going to be a very slept on team. I'm gonna have to actually go change my playoff thing and have them beating certain teams. Bengals, Bills, Browns, and surprises. Broncos and Chiefs, no real surprise there. Commanders, Colts, Seahawks, Jags, Cowboys, and Ravens. All those teams could win. And if anybody says, oh, you have the Cowboys beating the Dolphins, that's never going to happen. Well, I also have the Cowboys losing to the Seahawks and the Bills, so it's not like I'm just picking the Cowboys because they're my favorite team. So, that's why. Okay, Rams, Packers. This game's going to be tied. There's going to be at least one tied game, and I think this is probably a game I could think be tied pretty easily. Bears, Eagles, no real surprises there. Going to Week 17, you have Jets, Raiders, Ravens, Dolphins. I think Ravens will win that, even though it could be Dolphins win there. If Dolphins win that though, they're not in the playoffs. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. But I think Dolphins there could be a few wins that you could see Dolphins in the playoffs, but I don't think they will. Bills, Titans, Bengals will beat the Chiefs. You know, I'm gonna actually switch that around. I'm gonna say Bengals lose to the Chiefs because I think the Bengals will come and beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Chargers winning, Jags, and then Steelers. No real surprise there. I mean, Seahawks could win that. I love the Seahawks this year, but You don't really know. Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, no surprises. Niners, Saints, Falcons, and Vikings, no surprises there. And last week in the NFL season, Jets, Bills, Ravens, Browns getting the upset over the Bengals. It's fair to say. I feel like that's fair. Colts, Jags, Chiefs, and Broncos win. Panthers, Cowboys, Giants, Lions, Packers, Falcons, Seahawks, and then Niners. And going to this wild card matchup. Okay, this is the wild card. I'll pick this live for y'all. This game, pretty easy win for the Ravens. Yes, the Jags. I don't think they're gonna win the playoff game though, because Ravens I think are a better team. Bengals are gonna beat the Jets, and then the Bills will beat the Chargers. Eagles will win that game. Seahawks will win that game, and then the Lions will win that. And there's going to be a lot of tough games here. Cowboys will win that. You can't pick the Lions to go to the NFC Conference Championship. I mean, I know I'm picking the Cowboys, but I really believe the Cowboys could do that. I'll pick Seahawks there. I'm gonna have the Bengals winning that, and then the Chiefs winning that, and I'm gonna have the Cowboys losing the Seahawks. That's a little crazy, but I think the Seahawks have really good potential. I really like their team. They have a lot of good science, and the Chiefs winning that. I mean, it's gonna be close, but Bengals are gonna probably lose the Chiefs. For Super Bowl, I'm gonna be picking the Chiefs. No surprise there. Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Here's the draft order if any of y'all are interested in that. Bucks are gonna be getting Caleb Williams. Rams probably getting Drake May. Cardinals probably getting Marvin Harrison. And then that dude Olu Fashanu. That's probably them. I'll just do it for the top 10. Raiders could be getting offensive tackle. If you dudes. Maybe Brock Bowers if they really want him. Broncos are probably getting Joe Alt. Patriots, that's really tough. They'll get that one defensive dude. What's his name? It's not the dude. They'll probably get an edge rusher. And then the rest of these picks. I'll do another mock draft for y'all, but yeah, that's my season predictions. I hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to share this. I guess not many people say that, but I guess share it. Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.